It's your boy Bugatti NYC. And like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. How you guys doing on this fine Tuesday morning, the 21st of January, 2025? Hope everybody had a good evening. Hope everybody's having a good morning. If you had to go to work last night, I know you're rubbing your head. You can't wait to get to sleep, probably get something to eat, rest up, probably watch a couple of shows or whatever like that. But us, we up. We got to go to work. So yes, like I always tell you, smack your face, get ready. Go ahead and look at the board while we get it popping so I can show you guys what we have in store for today's show. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. Hope you guys are ready because this one here gonna be action-packed as usual, how we always do it. So let's go over the titles real quick. What we got? Donald Trump president. That's right, y'all. Number 47. We have a new president as of yesterday. He has been sworn in and he is now number 47. Okay, well, what else we got here? Joe Biden and his last minute pardons. Yes, more pardons had been put in as soon as it was like 15 minutes left. Next thing you know, they're giving him pins to sign off on about maybe 10 or 20 more pardons, talking about Dr. Fauci, talking about the January 6th panel who were investigating President Trump, now President Trump. We're talking about a slew of people, last minute pardons. There he is, bumbling Joe. You go out with the same way that you basically were carrying your entire presidency, bumbling and stumbling. We'll get to that. Also, we have the CBP1 app that's now shut down. What does this mean for migrants? The CBP1 app, that's the app that they were utilizing on the other side of the border. They'll put their information in it, and then they'll get vetted, and then they were able to actually come into the country. Once Trump came into office yesterday at 12 o'clock noon, the CBP app was shut down. We also have Russian president who sends his congratulations and words of peace to Trump. Yes, Vladimir Putin, of all people. I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, he was actually going for Harris. That's who they said that Putin was actually going for in this election. But of course, since Trump won, he's got to bow his hat, tip his hat, and basically show his love like everybody else. He can't, not say, he can't not speak on the fact that we have a new president. Trump has already talked about stopping the Ukraine war, utilizing our own energy, drill, baby, drill. So of course, he's going to have something to say because that's right up his alley. So without any further ado, guys, I want to show you something that happened in Seattle yesterday, right before the inauguration, where there were people who were rallying. No, we don't want this guy as the president. Let's get him out of here. Next thing you know, this is like something that happened right before he got inaugurated. So I want you to see this because this is still a fair show. I want to show more than one area of what's going on. I also want to make sure that there's full coverage on small news like this because it's not being shown as much everywhere else. People should still have their voice, no matter if you're Democrat, Independent, or Republican. And that's why I have this platform. So no matter who you are, you're still going to get some sort of a voice. So let's give the people that are giving some pushback a little bit of time to see what they're thinking and what their argument is. Here we have a group, not even a group, but it's a people's march that draws thousands to Seattle Center ahead of the inauguration. I didn't cover this, but I want to and let you guys see what was going on with this, so check it out.
2,000 people marched to the streets of Seattle ahead of President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. They rallied over causes they believe are under threat from the incoming administration. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Michelle Esteban. Seattle was more than 100 sister rallies around the country, the main march in our nation's capital just 2 days before Trump's inauguration. About 25,000 protesters rallied in D.C., other marches happening in New York City, Chicago, and L.A. Thanks for joining us. Today's march here in Seattle began with a rally and speeches early this morning. This all happened at Cal Anderson Park. And then the group marched 2 miles from the park to the Seattle Center. Comos Karina Vargas listened in and talked to those rallying. Michelle, this was a peaceful march where many showed up in unison. They tell me that they showed up despite fear of what the next 4 years will look like. From Capitol Hill to the Seattle Center, nearly 2,000 took the streets of Seattle to march and have their voices heard. It comes just days before President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration.
I think it's important that we don't keep quiet anymore about things that have bothered us and to really speak up, because it's not going to change if you don't say anything.
Some said this march was a way for them to stand up and fight for equality, human rights, and reproductive freedoms.
I feel like that's all I can do. I want to do more, but I don't know what that is, what that entails. So for now, it's the march.
Their message is they want a voice in the direction of our country and are concerned about a Trump administration's policies, including immigration protections and mass deportations.
Very nervous, very skeptical of where our country's going to be 4 years from now, for sure.
Newly elected Governor Bob Ferguson addressed the crowd at Cal Anderson Park before the march, vowing to continue to fight for Washingtonians.
My job is different than it was the last time Donald Trump was president. But I can assure you, if this administration engages in any action that violates the law, that exceeds his authority, and harms your rights or the people of the state or our environment, I will stand up and we will stop them again.
A much smaller turnout compared to 2017, when about 150,000 protesters attended the Women's March, now rebranded as the People's March.
So I guess less people are feeling the sentiment because, as they just said, it's less people in attendance. And again, all of these small mayors, governors, and Congress people, not Congress people, but certain people that are in like civil areas of authority, they're talking about pushing back and trying to fight. It's not going to work. I mean, let's just be real. It's just not going to work because the administration is they're just ready to go, and the entire American government and the American people said that they want this. So also, let's go ahead and watch a bunch of signings. Let's see what the president started to sign into law yesterday, as well as a lot of the executive orders and January 6th people that were arrested. They all were freed yesterday. All of the participants in January 6th, the events, there were 1,500 people that were freed, that got pardons. And he said 6 of them will be commuted. They're going to look into that. So check this out, guys. Good morning. How you guys doing?
This is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. You're expecting it.
So he said he hopes that they get out tonight. He signed the order. They're all pardoned now. And so, yeah, executive order's already in.
Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not need or pardon people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look, and maybe it'll stay that way, or it'll go to in a full pardon.
And the order does require the Bureau of Prisons to act immediately on receipt of the pardons and commutation orders. Sir, this is an
Why don't we
executive.
get that down so they can get them going right now?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay?
Yep, absolutely. This is a proclamation guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion based on the current crisis at the southern border. It invokes various executive powers relating to the ongoing invasion at the southern border.
So he's been doing this probably all night, just signing executive orders, like all
Those are
night.
not going to be blocked by the courts.
I don't think they will. I don't think they can be. They're very straight up. Why don't you take that and go over here? Could you get him over here, not on the side angle? Do you mind? Just go right over here with your friends. Okay?
Sir, this is an executive order realigning the United States refugee admission program to better align with American principles and American interests.
Okay?
Thank you, sir. This next executive order is about protecting America from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. Again, crisis at the border, but it goes beyond that and it implicates other executive powers as well.
Yeah.
President Trump, if the cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations, would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
And that was actually
that Maduro would accept Venezuelans.
Say it.
So just as you see him signing executive orders, you also have to realize that that's probably the same way that they bring those executive orders to Biden, and that they were bringing them to him. Because it seems as if, to be honest, let's be fair now, some of those he didn't really even know what they were. He probably talked about it before in conference and said that he wanted to do it, and now they're bringing it to him, and he's like, what's this? Okay, I remember. So it's just like a whole bunch of executive orders, and a lot of it is overturning a lot of the stuff that was implemented with the last administration, because of course there's a lot of things that they don't want to continue doing. So in that order, I could see why everybody is just at odds, don't know what's going on, and that's why I wanted to come to this next story like immediately, which is the TikTok situation and what the future could mean. And I also want you guys to hear it from Kevin O'Leary, because he's an investor and someone who's trying to actually like put, let's say, for instance, money to buy the part of TikTok to make it legal to be in the United States. Of course, he's looking for capital gain. Let's be honest. Everybody's doing business to try to make some profit. And of course, he's trying to do the same thing as well. But some of the things that he said are areas that I want us to pay attention to, because I think that they're very important. Things that have to do with security measures that override what individuals care about, as far as like dancing, doing TikTok dances and stuff like that. Now, if you're doing business, I understand, because it's really hard to tell people to stop doing something that's feeding them and keeping them alive. So definitely don't have any gripes about that part. But what I'm really trying to really hone in on is the security part that people really don't pay attention to when it comes down to foreign countries owning our information. When they have our information, I'm not talking about who owns the company. I'm not talking about the politics of it. I'm talking about the fact that they own our information and what they could do with it. And it's very dangerous. So that's why I really wanted to bring this story up with Kevin O'Leary. He kind of explains the severity of what's going on when it comes down to TikTok and the owners, the other organizations that actually own part of TikTok that we don't even know about. So check this out.
Again, we are going to show you these live pictures of Blair House. We are awaiting the departure of Donald Trump and Melania Trump. They had just spent their last night at Blair House. This is right across from the White House. They're going to be heading to church, St. John's Church. They're going to be attending a service there that'll begin their morning. The couple is running about 25 minutes later. So we've been waiting their departure now for some time. But this is the beginning of what is going to be a long, but certainly going to be a very exciting. Thank you so much for joining me again. TikTok with you. Your reaction to TikTok going down, coming back up, and can you give us an update on where you are in your negotiation with ByteDance?
Well, we haven't had any negotiations with ByteDance because, as Lindsey Graham posted last night, the senator put out some pretty interesting news. There's something called a secret golden share that every Chinese company has to issue to the CPP leadership. That's Xi himself. And it turns out that ByteDance can't negotiate anything unless he's made a decision. The secret share is a veto power over all other shareholders. They do not have any rights once the secret share has been issued. So now we're dealing with what to do with the secret share, because until Xi decides what's going to happen, it doesn't matter what shareholders think or the CEO or any of the management. It's irrelevant. It's the secret golden share that determines the fate of TikTok.
Secret
now.
Golden share.
Regarding Trump's extension, I think what's happened overnight is that both the Biden administration and the Trump administration.
So basically, they have a secret golden share that's owned by the Chinese government, and nobody actually knew about this. And she is the one that basically determines what's going to go on with it, the president of China, which lets you know that TikTok basically, is open, and all of our information is open to being taken by the Chinese, the government. And that's definitely not a good thing. It's basically telling in this information right here, if you really think about it.
think, or the CEO or any of the management, it's irrelevant. It's the secret golden share that determines the fate of TikTok now. Regarding Trump's extension, I think what's happened overnight is that both, as Lindsey Graham posted last night, the senator put out some pretty interesting news. There's something called a secret golden share that every Chinese company has to issue to the CPP leadership. That's Xi himself. And it turns out that ByteDance can't negotiate anything unless he's made a decision. The secret share is a veto power over all other shareholders. They do not have any rights once the secret share has been issued. So now we're dealing with what to do with the secret share, because until Xi...
So now, if again, what do you guys think about that? The secret share. What about that? What about that? The secret share. What you guys think about that? Anybody ever hear about this? Anybody ever hear about the secret share before? I got to get some people out of here. They forgot that I'm the illest troll in the game. So whoever's acting up, I'm chopping you guys down right now, just so you know. Boom! Out of here. Out of here. Out of here. Okay, you could say that. What channel you watch that nonsense? That was Paula. Yeah, I do. We watch information from everywhere on the bottom line, Paula, because of the fact that we want to make sure that we're gathering information and then we go investigate to see if the information is true. We pool information on the bottom line. We pool it first, and then we figure out if we're going to believe it or not, because we're knowledgeable human beings. Same way, just like you are. You don't just do stuff without thinking about it. What you do is you gather information and then you come up with the best idea of how you should go about the resolution. And that's what we do here. So I keep on telling you guys, stop going down rabbit holes when it comes down to the information. Listen to when it comes down to the platform. Listen to the information, then judge the information. It could be BS, of course, but it comes from everywhere. The doctors tell us stuff that we have to investigate. Lawyers tell you stuff that you want to look into to get further educated on so that you can be better and know what's going on. So stop worrying about the platform. You can go to 4 other platforms, see what they're saying about it, and then you come up with your smart assessment of what you want to do with the information. I'll say that every day, as I have been saying, because even books in school, when it comes to African Americans, we shouldn't read the books because it's not talking about it, any of us. But does that mean we shouldn't know about George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and all of these people? No, we still want the information. It's okay to have the information, and then you figure out what you want to do with the information. If you guys like what's the content that's going on in here right now, we got 263 people in the building. I appreciate if you want me to click the rest of the TikTok information so that you guys can see what's going on moving forward with the secret shares. Double tap the screen, and that's gonna send the lights out so other people know that I'm working at 6 o'clock in the morning, pooled all this information for you fantastic people, and that we're over here working at the bottom line. So all I'm going to ask you guys to do, double tap the screen. Thank you. Let's go.
He decides what's going to happen. It doesn't matter what shareholders think or the CEO or any of the management. It's irrelevant. It's the secret golden share that determines the fate of TikTok now. Regarding Trump's extension, I think what's happened overnight is that both the Biden administration and the Trump administration have told the service providers, Akamai and Oracle, that they will not impose the fines until this extension issue is resolved. Because right now they're being fined well over $1 billion an hour if they were being imposed. That happened at midnight last night. Fine. Clearly, they're still up because they have assurances. Now, regarding the 90-day extension, that unfortunately is not provided for in the law as it stands today. That went away last night at midnight. So we're going to have to get an amendment to the actual order, the congressional order, the bipartisan order, to allow for this new extension. And I'm assuming the Congress will work with the president. And then this 90-day extension can be put in place. But it's really all about this.
You guys got to realize something, too, like I said the other day. ByteDance never wanted to sell. He already said that as well. They weren't talking about selling. United States government put that to them and said, the only way you're going to be able to operate in the United States is if you sell that part to someone else, because our information is too sensitive for you to have. And someone else said that our information is everywhere anyway. And they're right about that too. On other platforms such as DJI, if you own a drone, that's another Chinese owned company. And basically what that is, it's kind of used for mapping if you think about it. If you own a company and your people that you're beefing with are buying products from you, and your product can scan the land that they're on, that they live on, that's some of the most severest information that they could actually have. So that's just part of it. So the people that saying to me in the comments, oh, well, they already have your information. I know that they do, but does that mean that we should still continue to give it to them and that we shouldn't be more secure on how we give out our information? We're being cloned possibly in other countries. They're cloning us as human beings, doubling you and utilizing that clone to access other channels. And that's just one part of what they could be doing. And you wouldn't even know about it. So again, guys, let's double tap that and let everybody know what we got going on, because this is a pretty steep story. And I think that you guys really need to dive into it if you're interested in TikTok and what's going on with the security of the nation.
Secret golden share now. And by the way, every Chinese company that's listed in the U.S. has a secret golden share. And that's what raised the ire of Senator Lindsey Graham. This is a big...
Yeah, again, so when you say, oh, every company, now this is what Lindsey Graham is actually talking about. Again, you don't like Lindsey Graham. Probably don't like him, or you do. Are we going to beat him up for being the one that gives us that information? Or are we going to say, yeah, whatever, Lindsey, but still look into it? Oh, he wasn't BSing. So instead of beating up the messenger, get the information and then investigate. Bottom line.
Big problem going forward.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned the legal perspective, because we heard from Senators Tom Cotton and Senator Ricketts yesterday about the legal side of this and saying the law risks ruinous bankruptcy for any company who violates it. But now that the law has taken effect, there's no legal basis for any type of extension on the effective date. And again, Kevin, as you can see, I'm sharing your screen, we're watching these live pictures as President-elect Donald J. Trump, who's about to be the 47th president of the United States today, just now exiting his SUV along with Melania there at St. John's Church for the church service. We're going to keep these live photos up. But Kevin,
yeah, so
I do want to get your reaction to this, because
one
of the things that Donald Trump said last night was government ownership. If it's a 50-50 proposal, 50% ownership, is it the government or a company that's going to own 50% of TikTok in this new proposal from President-elect Trump?
Yes, I heard that as well. And sometimes, as we know with the president, you've got to distinguish the signal from the noise. He's very bombastic, and that's a very interesting idea. Unfortunately, it's not provided for in the law. The law is very specific that there can be no Chinese ownership. However, Trump could appeal to Congress to modify it, and that would, again, have to go back and be an amendment to allow a 50% ownership with China. But the problem also to deal with is the order last Friday from 9-0 decision from the Supreme Court. They further defined what's permitted in terms of the Chinese technology. There's 5 billion lines of code, Chinese code, inside of TikTok. That's how it's used to garner, gather, and distribute information on American users to the Chinese CPP party, which is what this whole thing was about in the first place. That's why we're at.
It's just like I said the other day. When you're a little kid and you're about to put your hand on the stove and your mom stops you, she's just making sure that you're okay. When you're about to touch something and they don't do that, so you don't, that might hurt, but what you might have touched would be a even worse pain. So this is actually, they're looking out for the American people when it comes down to that. They said there are over a couple of billion trackers and information gatherers on TikTok. And also that they're saying that there has to be non-Chinese owners. So even though he's trying to finagle to get this thing to work, he's still going to have to go back and get another amendment. If this situation doesn't get taken care of in the next 3 months, TikTok is going to be out of here, because I have to agree with them as well when it comes down to the security measures. And I think that every other company, reiterating on what you guys are saying in the comments, because a lot of other companies have the access, we need to start looking into that too. What information are they taking from us? How is it being gathered? And what's their safety precautions on keeping our information safe? When you go on TikTok and you buy one of those little lights or one of the little drones or whatever like that, you're just giving your credit card information, you've given them your address, they got your phone number, they've got everything. So they can do whatever they want. So that's just the beginning parts of it. See what we got up in here. John, oh wow, you drink cough syrup. Cool, bro. Yeah, that's Big Drip. It's still in the drink that we got. It's www. Yeah, go get that. Go get that. Go get that. Yes, Tracer, people are just boom. Let me see. Jay Man Anderson, why don't we just have an idol for a president, an idiot for a president? Cheeto said, Diddy is his worst enemy. Sam, that's who the real villain is, the rich, 1%. Matthew says Trump is awesome. Montgomery, how about possibly to make money off of them? Riz, why you, what? So cool, I wish the money to buy cough syrup. D Money Gun said, we are back. What do you mean by that, DR Guns? Are you a Donald Trump fan? Are you for Trump? Yeah, but it's still cool. Don't worry about the chat. They get right after a while. Don't worry about them. Let the chat do what they do. I keep on telling y'all, I'm the illest troll. Don't worry about the chat. Just have fun, gather information, and do what y'all got to do.
Where we're at, we're trying to avoid this spyware.
Oh, okay, yeah. A little more.
And so that we're not allowed as buyers or any buyer to use any of that code. It's just forbidden in the law. So you also need the Supreme Court. You got to make a lot of changes to go to a 50-50 partnership, including the original act, including the Supreme Court decision. I think that's going to be challenging.
Kevin, I think the other thing, I mean, you're talking about the algorithm. Have you gotten any indication that ByteDance will be willing to part with the algorithm?
No.
Every indication, every messaging, because remember, we're dealing with the secret golden share now. We don't simply have a directive unless the owner of the secret golden share is willing to discuss it. And so far, it's been a narrative between Trump himself and Xi. And so I don't know if the golden share owner, Xi, is going to put any parameters in place for any buyer. So, I mean, we're as far as I know, we're the only buyer that's papered an offer that is in the hands of the shareholders and the owner of the secret golden share, Xi himself. And so, because the secret golden share is a veto power, it's going to be whatever he decides.
And if it's veto power, that means he can go to them and say, I want all of that information that you guys are gathering. And the reason why TikTok is so good and it's so big and it has such appeal is the algorithm. The algorithm, it's what's worth the money. They will not share the algorithm. Facebook, X, and all of these other platforms would love to have that algorithm because it's different from what they're doing. TikTok is more innovative. They got business going on over there. We got people dancing, and a lot of people feel more free. Has a younger crowd, it's a bigger following. And that's basically what they're about. So if you was making Kentucky Fried Chicken and you got the secret recipe, you're not going to share the recipe with nobody else. It's true. So it's really hard. And then when you got the government trying to step in and force you to do it, it's even worse. So yeah, but let's go ahead and give some love to who? Our Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., who was honored yesterday at this annual celebration at BAM. Let's go. Let's give Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. his run of love. Because if it wasn't for him, a lot of us would not be where we are. Let's go.
The nation honors civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And one of the largest celebrations will be taking place right here in our city. The Brooklyn Academy of Music is hosting their 39th annual tribute to Dr. King this morning, co-presented by Brooklyn Borough President Anthony Reynoso. The celebration is full of uplifting performances and family-friendly activities. To tell us more about the event is BAM's Chief Experience and Impact Officer, Coco Killingsworth. Coco, good to see you this morning. How are you?
Good to see you too.
Can you convey why this tradition is just so important for the community?
It's important because it's consistent that we do it each year. We show up. We have an audience already starting to line up in 10-degree weather. And because they want to be able to focus on the legacy, the message, the meaning of Dr. King and the whole civil rights movement, all the people that really fought for justice. And it's important that we provide a space for them to be able to do that year after year.
This year will consist of a speech from a civil rights activist. Can you tell us a little bit about who's giving the speech and what it's going to entail?
We are deeply honored to be presenting as our keynote speaker, Carlota Walls-Lanier, who is the youngest of the Little Rock Nine. So truly, so many people, all of us would not be in the space, in doing our jobs in the way that we are without her bravery in desegregating schools in the South so many years ago. So we are looking forward to the inspiring words that she's going to bring, the message of hope, not just of hope, but of the fight to come.
Let's discuss the performances and what the public can expect today.
We're very excited to have a dancer from Ailey 2, Kiri Moore, who will be performing a piece that was choreographed by the late Judith Jameson. And
Ailey 2 is Alvin Ailey School, by the way. Ailey 2, Alvin Ailey.
we're also deeply thrilled to be bringing Troy Anthony and the Fire Ensemble, which is a choir community. It's a group of, we've had our doors open all week to welcome any community member who wants to sing and bring their words and their message. They are going to be taking the stage. We have almost 100 choir members taking the stage today and leading, not just being led in song, but leading the audience to also participate.
Coco, Dr. King, such an influential figure in our nation's history. The planning that goes into this celebration each year has got to be very difficult for you. I'm sure there's a lot of people you have to turn away because everybody does kind of want to be involved in some capacity. What is that like for you, the planning process and just how the labor behind it all?
Yes, so we want to honor the great late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for his efforts, everything that he did for the civil rights movement, everything that he did for people of color, and everything that his name was about. So yes, we would love to honor the late great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And don't forget to put the doctor in front. That's right. But because we know the algorithm and we got to keep the ball in the air, we're going to have to turn it up right now to make sure everybody is excited, because we got the crazy story right now from this HPD officer who admits to hiring a, let's just say, call girl, and then she stole his car. Yeah, you call a call girl and then she steals your car, and then you got to call your boss to let him know that your car got stolen. This is crazy. This is crazy. Check this out. And he admitted to it too. He admitted to it. Y'all just check this out real quick, because this is crazy.
Documents tell us a Hampton police officer found himself a victim of a crime while admitting to doing something illegal himself. He apparently had a rendezvous with someone he shouldn't have, and that woman allegedly stole his car. And here's Madison Pierman's also looking into this tonight. Madison?
Absolutely. And just a heads up for everybody, that officer is off the job tonight. Virginia Beach court documents detail a meetup for sex arranged by a Hampton police officer, ending with his car being stolen by the prostitute he hired. He said his law enforcement badge was still even in the car. Hampton police say he's since been fired, but they can't comment on why. Jerron Harry was a Hampton police officer when he met 20-year-old Alexis Copeland, a.k.a. Dream.
Come on now. Come on now. You couldn't tell that Alexis was going to be up to something. He couldn't tell that Alexis was going to do something. And why would you even want to give Alexis some money? Like, what about that says, let's get it rocking? What about that says, like, are you serious? Would y'all pay for that? She couldn't pay me for that. I'm good. No, thank you.
On an app. Court documents say he told police he hired her for sex on December 30th. Those documents detail a meetup at an apartment in Virginia Beach off Lynn Haven Road. Harry told police he Apple paid Dream $100 for sex. Court documents said they laid in bed.
Wait a minute. Rewind. You gave this girl $100. Now, I don't know if you guys know about the $40 limit, the $40 deal, but I don't see her being. Let me just shut up and just go ahead and get back to the story. I'm sorry, guys.
Up at an apartment in Virginia Beach off Lynn Haven Road. Harry told police he Apple paid Dream $100 for sex. Court documents said they laid in bed together before agreeing to shower. But Harry said Dream never joined him in the shower. Instead, he got out to realize his phone, keys, wallet, car, and Dream were gone.
Of course, Dream ain't getting in the shower with you. She ain't want to get that. She ain't want that orange hair to run. If she got in the shower and that hair start running, man, listen, it looked like somebody getting in the shower with all of that red going down the drain. You kidding me?
With his police credentials still in the vehicle. He called police using a neighbor's phone and explained what happened. Court documents show they were able to track down his vehicle in Norfolk with 2 people inside of it, Dream and a man she told police was her baby daddy. But Dream told police the Hampton police officer had agreed to let her use his car. Court documents show she admitted he did not give her permission, though, to use any cards from his wallet, which documents say she did.
Wait a minute. Now, Dream told them people that he said she can use his car. We're not talking about a Prius. We're not talking about a Tesla. We're talking about a Hampton police car. Somebody said it never fails in Hampton, but I guess y'all know more than me.
But Dream told police the Hampton police officer had agreed to let her use his car. Court documents show she admitted he did not give her permission, though, to use any cards from his wallet, which documents say she did. Despite her version of events, Alexis Dream Copeland was arrested and faces several charges, including prostitution and stealing a car. Duron Harry, though, who court documents show admitted to police that he hired Dream for sex, is not facing any charges out of Virginia Beach as of this afternoon.
Now, I don't understand that part. He's not facing any charges. They said he got fired, but he's not facing any charges. Come on now. Come on now. You done got your car stolen. You already admitted to spending to Apple. You admitted to all of this. And you ain't. See, that shows you there's a double standard in the game. All right, you guys, do me a favor. I only got 35 likes over there. We're going to have to get these likes up before I can do some more work over here. It's too early in the morning. I've been going for about 40 minutes. I'm going to have to ask, out of these, let's say 539 people in the building, we need to get those likes up to at least 80. Let's go ahead and double tap that screen right there, y'all. Really appreciate y'all. Hope y'all like the content. But like I said, it's real early in the morning. Y'all ain't got nothing on the coffee. Let's at least get those likes up so that we can let everybody know that I'm working, so that YouTube can take care of the coffee. And I ought to really appreciate you guys for doing that. And we can continue going because we got more in the clip. It's not over. We got a lot more to go. We got to talk about, the deportations. We got Putin. We got, so let's go. Let's get those double taps so I can turn around so I don't got to stop no more. Let's get it. And this way I can just keep everything flowing, because once this algorithm knows that I'm moving, it'll start to let everybody else know, and then everybody else will start to come over. That's what the algorithm does. When you understand the algorithm, you got to know how to dance with it. You got to know how to groove with it, and you got to know how to move with it. So do me a favor. I appreciate where we got it at right now at the 59, but it's 333. I'm going to need a couple more double taps, and then I'm going to come back again because I see that you guys are doing real good, but I still want to make sure that we got some meat on there to keep you guys interested. I want to earn those double taps. I want to earn them. So what we got right now, let's get these guys a good one. Should we do Barzini, the Upper West Side grocery store in New York that's closing because of the rat and roach infestation? I think we should, because I want people to be warned about Barzini, because Barzini's been open for a number of years and a lot of people go there. So if a lot of people go there, that means a lot of people probably, have been eating that food and could have possibly gotten sick from it. So this is something that I want people to pay close attention to, because it's kind of nasty, but it's important to know.
A grocery store on the Upper West Side ordered to shut down by the state after an inspection revealed severe unsanitary conditions.
That's right, including, according to inspectors, rats inside a cooler and pasta infested with beetles. Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino has more on the report and what happens next.
What's crazy about that is in Vietnam, that would be a delicacy.
The cheese state inspectors found that Barzini's wasn't just stinky, it was one of many expired products with dates as old as 2018.
I've shopped there many times, and the service is really nice.
Lori Green is one of many shoppers shocked that a judge ordered this popular grocery store at the corner of 91st Street and Broadway to close.
Wait a minute. What year did he say that was on that label? 20 what? 20 what? 2018. It's 2025.
Barzini's wasn't just stinky, it was one of many expired products with dates as old as 2018.
I've shopped there many times, and the service is really nice.
Lori Green is one of many shoppers shocked that a judge ordered this popular grocery store at the corner of 91st Street and Broadway to close to clean up unsanitary conditions.
In one case, they saw a rat and 5 babies in the food.
New York City Council member Gail Brewer was the one who got the State Department of Agriculture and Markets involved. A lot of people love this place. They really like Barzini's. What do you have to say to them, your constituents?
I like Barzini's too. Don't forget, when it's been in the local papers, I got 2 kinds of emails. Gail, please don't close Barzini's. And Gail, it's really bad. Somebody bought bread the other day with rat holes in it. Bread.
Among the violations state inspectors found mouse bites on the smoked salmon and sausages, mold-like residues on food surfaces, rat infestation, dead cockroaches on deli cutting boards.
In Manhattan, there are mice. there are roaches. Like, there just are, you know? And
What do you mean there just are? What are you talking about? Like, so is that accepted is what you're saying? Are you... Did you guys hear this? Some people just still don't care.
and you can clean all you want, but sometimes they're just, you know, they get under here, they get under there.
But according to state inspectors, the rodents, the roaches got everywhere. Fox 5 obtained a copy of the inspection. Pictures show rat droppings around buckets of seafood salad, live rats meandering about, and one dead rat. There were mice bite marks on the smoked salmon.
Oh, that's horrible. That's disgusting. I might never walk in there again now.
Parviz Abdi manages Barzini's. Was there a misunderstanding? What happened?
You know, we neglected for a couple of years. This year, how many people, they went out of business, they closed. We stay open and we have some fault, we're gonna fix it up.
You know what I think happened? They went out of business and they left all the food in the refrigerator and they just came back and opened back up and just started selling the stuff that was there. Like, you know, so what if the cheese is old? It's aged cheese. You should like it if it's 7 years old. And then you got some people in the comments that keep on trying to, you know, we got to stop trying to say it happens everywhere. That's just like when somebody comes and throws trash on the ground and you're like, yo, why'd you do that? Well, that person did it. Well, that person did it. It's not okay. You as that person that keeps on saying it's happening everywhere, it's happening over there. No, we need to change the standard and let it stop happening and stop being so used to it and stop using the same excuse every time in the comments. Don't you even get tired of writing that comment? Don't you even get tired of saying the same thing? Oh, well, it's happening everywhere. It be happening everywhere, so why you don't expect it to be happening here? No. It should not be happening. Pay attention to it, get on point, and do something about it because we should not be consuming food like that. Stop being ignorant. Oh, God.
This grocery store was ordered to close on January 10th. The manager acknowledges the need for a thorough cleaning and plans to have a new inspection, hoping to reopen at a later date. The lights are still on, the fruit is still out there, people are sneaking in.
That's what I saw. I've been by several times. People are going by. I see the place open.
On the Upper West Side, Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
Oh, man. See, and another thing. All right, so now that you have the information, that means that you shouldn't go there. Or maybe since you got the information, even if you don't like me, let's check into this and see if what this guy's talking about is the truth before I go in there and eat some stuff out of Barzini's. Do that instead of just, you know, hey, all the time. Now, going back to another establishment, we got a Seattle, what's this, a Seattle restaurant. I would have went out of business if this happened to me. I'm shutting doors down. But this Seattle restaurant was burglarized over 28 times in 7 years. 28 times. Tell me that's not an inside job. Somebody burglarized your restaurant 28 times. Got to be an inside job or somebody with a key, or maybe the boss is saying, you know what? We're going to say we got burglarized and go ahead and get this insurance money.
Caught on camera, a Seattle business broken into for the 28th time. And now the owner of that restaurant is demanding change from Seattle's leaders. Glad you were with us. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Esteban. The burglaries happened right here. This is at Boogottinic restaurant in South Seattle. KOMO's Ryan Sims is here with React.
You guys do me a favor. If you like the content, double tap the screen. Let me know you with me. We got about 71. We calm at 80. But as soon as you guys get that number to 80, I'm going to turn around and click this so you guys can see the rest of this content and see what's going on in Seattle because it's kind of crazy. 28 burglaries over 7 years. Don't you think that's an inside job? We got 72. We need 8 more. We got 75. Come on, let's get it up. Let's go ahead and bop. Come on, y'all. Let's get them numbers up. I don't want to stop these videos. I want to keep on going because I want you guys to have this content because I know you got a lot to do. So let's go ahead and get those numbers up. Let's get those likes up. We got 3 more to go and I won't be stopping no more. And I got a clip ready to go. So come on, y'all. Let's go. Got it up. Let's go.
Action from the owner. And Ryan, he says these types of burglaries really feel as if they have become the norm.
And Michelle, he says that because he's experienced it over and over and again. This past week, it happened yet again.
They're going to get in no matter what. With crowbars or whatnot, they're going to bust it in and get in.
Mark Miser just cannot stop this devastating cycle of deja vu.
They'll come rummaging through like your closets and pull everything out.
Security video caught the moment crooks barged their way into his restaurant. And if history repeats itself, he'll deal with several more of these instances throughout 2025.
Usually happens at 2:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning. We get the alarm set off, and then I have to come down, clean everything up, make the police report, meet with the police.
In this case, from January 13th, there was a lot of damage to cattle.
That's when I just come out the back with a stick and just be like this. You just, and no, you don't gotta kill them. No, you catch them. You catch them, and you just tie them up, and you just take a stick and you just. See, I can't say it on YouTube, but y'all know where I'm going with this. Y'all know where I'm going with it.
First, thieves bagged the cash registers here. And from there, they got off with 2 portable generators that had been used to power the Buddha Brutta food truck.
200 pounds apiece and just wheel them right out the front door.
This crime marking the 28th time that there's been a burglary here. Mark says he blames defund the police.
Yeah, you could blame whoever you want, Mark, but you broke. I'm sure you ain't got no dough. I don't know what your insurance policy is like, but if I was your insurance coverage, I would quit. I would say go get somebody else. I would recommend that you find another business to get into because, Mark, they trying to let you know something. Your food ain't good. All you good for is some money. They coming at you, Mark. So I'm sorry. We also got this situation where these migrants are fearing that their days in the United States are numbered. Many migrants feel this way right now because Donald Trump is now the president. They feel as if he's going to automatically come into office and just start to enact all sorts of things that are going to be detrimental to them being able to stay here. So a lot of them are very nervous. Let's check this out right here. We got a little stream of this going on right now, and we're going to just cover a couple of different points. I've got some my immigrant aspects. I got the CBP situation that's coming up. So I want to really delve into this because, like I said, the migrants really fear their days in the United States are numbered. What do you guys think about that? Do you feel that the illegal immigrants' days are numbered now under the present administration?
Or perhaps numbered.
Rafael Sanchez Cruz is taking a closer look at this issue.
Jose Rafael says he has noticed a recent shift among the Latino community in Alexandria, Virginia's Chirilagua neighborhood. He says fear has taken hold, with many avoiding even walking in the streets amid President Trump's threats of mass deportations. I don't have that fear because I don't have a criminal record, and Trump said he was going to focus on criminals. But Trump's border czar Tom Homan has said collateral arrests could happen, meaning undocumented immigrants without criminal charges could also be detained during ICE sweeps.
You have to see what President Trump proposes. He often talks about things and doesn't do them.
Virginia Senator Tim Kaine says for now, Trump's deportation proposal is riddled with logistical issues.
How do you create the detention space? How do you pay for the deportation itself? There's no details connected with any of this.
It's that lack of clarity that has undocumented immigrants like Ingrid living in fear.
Terror me pasa por la mente.
Terror. It passes through my mind, my body, everywhere because sincere.
So now this, I gotta say it. I'm glad that she's on the screen. This would be considered abuela. How we always talk about, will they be taking abuela? Will they come and get her just in case? And I'm saying this while the video is showing abuela right here. And they're saying that if she gets caught up in something where they come in to get somebody else, and she happens to be illegal, abuela gonna get sent back. So be smart. Don't keep them abuela around stuff like that. You might want to get abuela, abuelo, your aunt, your uncles, get them away from people like that if they're highly going to be getting, going to start coming down looking for them, or try to consider alternate means at this point because it doesn't seem like they're playing at all. They're not playing at all.
We don't know what's going to happen, but Ingrid says she has an idea of what could happen. In February of 2017, at least 683 immigrants were detained by ICE in the DMV region, a move many saw as the first wave of the Trump administration's detentions. They said they were going to get people with a criminal record, but unfortunately, there were people that didn't have a record and were still taken. ICE insists they were targeting people with criminal charges.
And I stood with our communities against those kinds of behaviors in 2017, and I'm going to...
Yeah, but the problem is, homie, if you get caught up in a sweep and you dirty, you're going. That's how that go. If you get caught up in it and you're not right and you're not supposed to be here, you're going. Not only that, but like I told you guys earlier, as soon as Trump came into office, that app that they were using to be able to come and get vetted and be able to come into the country legally, it was shut down at 12 o'clock yesterday. And people out there crying, they all sad because they don't know what's going to happen with their future.
Correspondent Patrick Terpstra. Of course, one of the major issues of the 2024 campaign was immigration. We've already seen the Trump administration signal what they plan to do on what is now day one. What can you tell us about their agenda?
Well, we heard that Trump today during his inaugural address talking about 10 different executive orders that he is going to sign today. But actually, when it comes to immigration, the thing making the most news at the moment seems to be the CBP One app being taken offline. And this is an app that DHS, Customs and Border Patrol had.
Now, I know everybody's got their points and their ideas about this app. What do you guys think about the app that the Biden administration had put in place, where it made it easier for immigrants to come into the country? All they had to do was fill out the app, and then they'll probably go to get an investigation into who they are, and then they have a better chance of getting in. Not only that, but sometimes even when they were turned away, they were allowed to come into the country until they had like a I guess a retrial or something like that. How do you guys feel about that? Let me see something right here. Send all back who entered illegally. Memphis said they also use liquor stores. I don't know what you're talking about with that. Let me see. And cell phone bills and tax. Let me see. It's treason. Let me see. He pardoned his family. Let's all think about that. Eating free. Okay. I like cheese on biscuits. Okay. You guys ain't talking about nothing that we talking about right now. But hey, let's keep it going. Long as you're here, I guess, right?
To schedule for anybody that was seeking an immigration or asylum appointment in the U.S. They could go to this app, and hundreds of thousands of people did. That app went offline as of noon Eastern time today, just as the new president was sworn in. And anybody that had an appointment on that app, that appointment was canceled. So we were seeing some images down.
So that you heard the amount of people that actually were on the app, thousands. So all of those people, they basically were told that they're not even going to be vetted anymore. So
was sworn in, and anybody that had an appointment on that app, that appointment was canceled. So we were seeing some images down in Mexico of people that had been waiting weeks and weeks, even months in some cases, for those appointments, just now finding out that those appointments have been canceled. In addition to the developments with that app of those 10 executive orders, the one that is perhaps the biggest is the declaration of a national emergency with respect to immigration. President Trump saying that one of the orders will allow him to increase the military presence at the southwest border and resume construction of the U.S.-Mexico border wall, something that President Biden had suspended. Also, new asylum restrictions and ending something known as birthright citizenship. This is guaranteed under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, but Trump says he will seek to make it so that children of immigrants who are unauthorized, they are not U.S. citizens, even if those children are born in the U.S. But this is something that is certainly going to be challenged by immigration advocacy groups, perhaps the...
What do you guys think about the birthright citizenship part? Like how they say, if you were born here, you're from here. That's kind of hard because if you think about it, other countries look at it like that too. If you were born in Canada, you can't say you're an American. So how are they going to take away your birthright citizenship when you were actually born somewhere? I don't know how, but they're looking to do it. CBP app is shut down. They're not playing. As you can see, the borders being more strengthened. They're talking about getting more military over there. Pretty crazy. But I think we got a little area that we wanted to talk about. I see you guys in the comments are talking about this. So let me go ahead and tap into it. Biden, he pardons Dr. Fauci, General Mark Milley, and anyone who served on the January 6th committee. Why would you preemptively pardon people if they didn't do anything? I want you guys that actually paying attention right now, I got one question I want to really ask you, and please answer this question. Why does Dr. Fauci need to be pardoned for anything? He's a doctor. I'm going to ask the question again. Why would Dr. Fauci need to be pardoned? He's a doctor. Why you got to pardon a doctor? What did they do wrong? The only time you pardon someone is if they did something illegal and they're probably about to go to court for it. He didn't even get charged yet. So what did he possibly do to make him need a presidential pardon?
ago in his term, President Biden issuing pardons or pre-pardons, I guess you could say, for General Mark Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and all Congress members and staff who served on the January 6th Select Committee. That includes witnesses who also testified against President Trump. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill reacting, Senator Eric Schmidt saying the guy who claimed he would protect norms continues to bulldoze them and the Constitution until the bitter end. Biden truly is one of the worst presidents in American history and will only be remembered as the guy between Trump's two terms. Joining me now is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. She's a member of the Senate Judiciary, Commerce, Small Business, Health, Joint Economic, Finance, and Veterans Affairs Committee. Senator Blackburn, it is wonderful to have you. Your reaction to this breaking news.
Oh, Cheryl, they know that they did things that were unlawful and certainly unethical. And President Biden knows this. So as information comes out, he wants to be able to say that he gave them a pardon. And it is basically for them to be held unaccountable for what they did with the committee, with COVID. And I'm not surprised by this at all. This is a president who has worked overtime trying to make illegal legal so it would suit his agenda, which is America last.
But, you know, Senator, I don't think I personally, we're looking into this. I've never seen this happen before, this quote unquote pre-pardon, if you will. Is this constitutional?
I'm sure there will be discussion about that. The president has the right to issue pardons. And indeed, as you're saying, no one has ever issued preemptive pardons. But he did that with Hunter. He has done that now with people that testified against President Trump. Here's what Joe Biden is missing. On November 5th, the American people sent a message that they wanted to see action. They wanted change. They want the border secure. They want inflation dealt with. They want the economy to be strong. They want us to return to our standing in the world. That is what Donald Trump is going to deliver. And I am so looking forward to his being.
That's your personal opinion, and it's cool. I got you. I'm trying to stay on topic, which is what he did with those pardons, and your personal opinions about the other stuff I don't really want to go to. But I just wanted to show you guys as far as what Biden did. There we go. Joe Biden's last minute pardons, bumbling Joe. That's how we got to look at it, y'all, because you know he's not putting America first by his actions in the way that he went out. We would say he went out like a sucker. Real talk. And those preemptive pardons, there's a possibility that they won't work. There's a possibility that they can go to the Congress and say, look, those people aren't even charged for anything yet. How are you going to put preemptive pardons on people that aren't even charged yet? Hey, Trump did the same thing when Joe got in the office, so what's the difference, bro? Who said that? That was so 21. What did he do? I don't know. He did preemptive pardons? They said that nobody did that before. I never heard about that. The U.S. military is a waste of money? Oh, yeah? I don't really give a damn who's in charge. We all screwed. John McBlain said that. Hassan said, gain of functional research. Grant Hindle, bring Obama back. Are you crazy? Hype Nova said, amen. Jose said, birthright is a constitutional right. I think you're right, Jose. I can't disagree with you on that one. If you were born somewhere, they can't say that you're not from there. Shirley Muller, pardons don't cover treason. You're right about that, Cherie. Kevin, why not? The same a dad. J Rose 132. Yeah, they definitely went out like suckers. Unc Sosa 21. Remember Trump stayed at home? He didn't want to be in the White House when Joe became president. Yeah, we're not talking about that though. We're talking about something else. We're talking about the pardons that Joe Biden did. We're not talking about who stayed home. If we want to talk about who stayed home, I think what was that? Michelle Obama stayed home and didn't go to the inauguration. Zane Sprouse said they all scared. Nadia Baharova, finally, Trump is returned. Frank Vrooman, his unethical behavior has killed millions. Memphis, treason is treason. John McBlain, he really trying to get Obama back, huh? Why don't y'all try to get him as like the vice president under somebody over there? Brian M23 said Trump pardoned himself. Last term he tried to. You guys ever play chess? It's called a castle. In order to do that, you would have to put the vice president in your place for a little while. He would have to pardon you, and then you can become president again. But yeah, tried that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, there's some stuff that he did last term that I didn't like. This seems like to be a different Trump, or he's playing a different role right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was not so, on his side as I am much more this time when it comes down to who I would pick out of the better of the two. I'm not for weak government. I'm not for in military and crazy stuff going on in schools. I don't like for kids to be subject to books and stuff like that are going to make them think outside of what that's going to just be basic foundational good things for them to grow and be wholesome. I don't think that there should be any negative information given to children, and anything personal about what your sexuality is should stay out of school, period. Children should learn that on their own, and by socializing and being around other human beings, and then grow into an age to do that. When it comes down to grooming children in schools, I think that's totally wrong. So books and things of that nature that are being taken out, I actually agree with it. What do you guys think? Do you think that those books need to be in those schools? I don't. Let's go see what Putin's talking about. Because your boy here, he got to suck up real quick. Because like I said, he was going for Kamala. Vladimir Putin was endorsing Kamala as the president. He did not want Trump to become the president. Of course. Why? Weak government, keep on going on with the Ukraine war and doing worse than what's going on now. But now that Trump's in office, got to talk to him now, huh? You gotta be respectful to the man that's the boss, no matter what. People always talk junk about the boss, like I always say, I can't stand him. He'll never give me a day off. He cheat. As soon as the boss walk by, hey, how you doing, boss? That's a nice hat. Ain't that a nice hat boss man got on? Yeah. But you don't talk none of that junk when you're in front of them. So just like a lot of other people do. You ain't the only one. A lot of people suck up to the boss, not just the workers.
Plugin that listen to my mix.
Ready to maintain peaceful relationship with any American administration. I have said that many times. We'd like to see the dialogue built upon equality and mutual respect, considering the common positions on our country on a number of international issues, including strengthening security and political stability. We're also open for dialogue with the new US administration on the Ukrainian conflict. The most important thing here is to eliminate the fundamental reason for the conflict. That's the most important. And as for settling the situation itself, its goal should be not a brief ceasefire, not just getting some time to regroup and rearm and carry on the conflict, but long-term peace based on respect to lawful interests of all people and nationalities living in the region. And of course, we're going to fight for the interests of Russia and its people.
So could it be a possible end to the Russia-Ukraine war is what he's saying? Could Trump has actually come in and did two things that he said he was going to do before he even takes reign? Because Putin is talking about ending the war and having peace. He mentioned Ukraine. He actually said it. That's something I would never expect for Vladimir Putin to be saying, especially last year. He wasn't saying nothing like that, now wasn't he, guys? It's because he knows they're guilty. He's guilty. His son's guilty. They're all damn guilty. That's what J. Rose 132 said. Light free. John Connor will fight the evil robots. John Connor. That's right. Let's go, John. Trump pardoned himself. Nadia, Nadia said, Baharova, Trump back to the White House. Thumbs up, prayers and love. Kristen, Trump will preemptively pardon himself too. John McBlain, Obama 2026. Sarah, America is $36 trillion in debt, and we're going to go up even more, Sarah. David, they all on the best behavior because of Trump. They gave $500 to Hawaii, $500 to North Carolina, got $500 California, $700, but $200 billion to Ukraine every week. Pardons don't mean they're safe. We will find them. Ooh, wait a minute. Who said that? That was some guy from Infla. He said pardons don't mean nothing. We gonna find them. Memphis, for Biden's forbidden. For Biden's forbidden. All right, y'all. Let's keep it going. What we got right here? We got Chicago. They are preparing for possible deportations and arrests. And that comes under the under the mayor saying that he's not going to help and not going to put his police force in the line of helping out ICE or any federal law enforcement. So check this out.
Officers may be making their way here to Chicago in the coming days. Immigration officers may be making their way here to Chicago in the coming days.
And this follows a campaign promise from incoming President Donald Trump to begin mass deportations across the country. Anthony joins us now with the latest.
Yes, there's some unease in many communities, Natalie and Brian. Up to 200 immigration officers may be making their way to Chicago by tomorrow. This is according to a report from the Wall Street Journal that came out over the weekend. These reported raids could take place here and in other major cities like New York, Miami, and Los Angeles. Here in Chicago, there are a little more than 2,400 migrants in 6 active shelters. But with those plans now being leaked, a report from the Washington Post says that incoming border czar Tom Homan may be reevaluating that plan over safety concerns for the immigration officers that are deployed. Immigrant and refugee rights groups and elected officials here in Chicago, they want immigrant communities to know their rights ahead of any potential raids. Joni Lum is at the Belmont Blue Line station where many of those officials are gathering this morning. Joni, what are they going to be talking about?
Good morning. Well, it's a brutal day to be outside, but 150 volunteers plan to be outside to reach people in the community who are concerned about this. They're handing out this card that tells you what to do if you are stopped by ICE agents. Now, they don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, the next day, or for the next 4 years, but local officials at every level came out today to let people know that they will be protected in Illinois. Here now are some of those people talking about what the fears are and what people should remember.
At every single level of government here in Chicago, a welcoming city, we will do everything in our power to make sure that people know what their rights are and people also know where to seek resources.
This is Martin Luther King's birthday, a celebration of Martin Luther King's birthday, and he was a champion of inclusion in our country. And I think it's important for all of us, regardless of our documentation status, to stand up for our immigrant communities. This is an opportunity for us.
Okay, I don't mean to dish you, but what I'm seeing here is just people telling you how to deal with it after you're jammed up. Sounds like a bunch of ATF to me, after the fact, when people are already locked up. What are your rights? What are the laws? Yes, I know my rights in the state. I know my rights as a human being. That don't mean I can't still get them silver bracelets and get that bend over to sit down. And when they say, watch your head, then you're sitting in the back of that car and then you're doing this. And then you're getting that ride. So knowing your rights is one thing. But if you're here illegally, you already know that you're here illegally. And you should know your rights that you're going to get sent back if you get caught. So I get what they're saying. They're trying to put all these rallies together and get people fired up. And it's inspirational. Will it work? That's my question. What do you guys think? And that's what we come here to do. Keep our brains flowing. Keep on getting information, pooling information. And then we come up with our own assumptions because we're human beings and we deserve to have the right to make the right decisions. So give us the information and then we'll figure it out. That's why we come to the bottom line. And that's why I always tell you guys you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me and break in your morning, I appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel. Check out another video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I always read them. I always respond to them. Even the trolls, because I like to laugh too. Head jokes, all types of crazy stuff. As long as you keep it respectful. And like I always tell you guys, like I see you tomorrow, have a healthy, safe day till we meet again. And I pull up some more information, pull up some more videos so that we can come and do this again tomorrow. Get them! 1.